We got a legend joining us right now, okay? A Super Bowl champion and the 1983, the year I was born, league MVP. To this day, he's still Washington's all-time leading passer with over 25,000 yards. Please welcome to the virtual breakfast table, NFL analyst and former NFL quarterback, Joe.
What's up, Joe?
Nice, man.
Kick off day, Joe. Let's go.
Thank you, Michael. And you didn't have to bring up the fact that you were born in '83, okay? I mean, we could have gone the whole thing without bringing that up, I got to tell you.
It's all good, man. You like fine wine, right? All right, so look, we're just hours away from kicking off the 2021 NFL season. But the Cowboys headed to Tampa to take on the world champs. What will you be looking for in this matchup tonight?
I will be looking at the offensive line of the Dallas Cowboys trying to handle the defense, the front seven, basically, of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I felt like, Tom Brady, no question, is the greatest ever, unquestionably. But last year's Super Bowl, I think really the defense made a world of difference. They had Patrick running, as you guys put it so well, running like a chicken with his head chopped off all over the place. Yep. I think their defense, they'll ride their defense like many teams will early in the season. And the offense will get up to speed as they move along. But right now, I think it's all about what that offensive line of the Cowboys are going to be able to do and what the defense front seven are going to be able to do for Tampa Bay.
Yeah, the games happen though, and different things take place. But it does seem like that's an obvious thing coming into it. It wasn't always pretty, but the Washington football team actually won the NFC East last season. And now they have a new veteran quarterback under center, and the defense is only going to be better with Jamin Davis added in there. What do you see from the Washington football team as we head into 2021, as there's actually a lot of enthusiasm they could do more than just win the division this year?
Well, it's funny, Peter, because the fact of the matter is you call Fitz a veteran. 17 years really qualifies you for at least being a veteran. 9 football teams qualifies you as a person who's traveled and seen a lot. But he's really created a lot of stability on the offense. I think he anticipates very well, gets the ball out of his hands very well. And we have to remember, he didn't lose a job in Miami a year ago. He basically just got replaced because they wanted to put Tua in there. It wasn't because Fitz played himself out of a job. So he's rested. He's very familiar now with the offense, with Scott Turner's offense. And again, I look at this Washington football team, and I think they're going to be led by their defense until their offense has a chance to really function properly. The one thing they didn't do in the preseason, which I think was a little bit disappointing, was score points. And that's going to be a big key. And that's actually been a struggle over the last 3-4 years, being able to put points up. And then you can turn that defense loose, that group of number ones up front.
Scary defense in Washington. Joe, great to see you. Welcome to the show. Happy kickoff day to you. Let's talk about the young cats, the rookies. You got Trevor Lawrence taking number 1 overall, Zach Wilson shortly thereafter, and then way down the line, Mac Jones, who will be starting week 1. All 3 of those actually will. Then you got your Trey Lances, you got your Justin Fields there on the sidelines to start the season, or at least the game to kick off the season. Which of these rookies is most intriguing to you and why?
I think the first one was Zach Wilson. I think the second week of the college season last year, I watched Zach Wilson play in a game at BYU, and I watched him move around. I watched his ability to throw the ball hard, put touch on it accurately. He's bigger than most people think, and he has terrific athletic ability. And watching him in the preseason, I saw the same transition at this level that I saw at the collegiate level. Now, I realize he only played 1 year full there, but the fact of the matter is, I think he has all the tools necessary. The question is, what will the Jets be able to put around them? I like him a lot. I liked him, as a matter of fact, as the best quarterback in this draft class coming out. Mac Jones, on the other hand, he just falls into, I think, the cradle of love. I mean, Bill Belichick spent $163 million this past offseason just putting that football team together. I really believe that what the New England Patriots want to do is they're going to play great defense, and they're going to say, Mac, we'll give you the opportunities to make plays, just don't make bad decisions. And that was the thing that really hurt New England quite a bit last year, was decisions, trying to get in the end zone, end of the half, stuff like that hurt them last year. But I like those 2 young men. And of course, Trevor Lawrence, his situation is when a team drafts you number 1, they probably have other issues that they need to fill, but you're the stopgap right now. Now, will he be able to survive as they grow as a football team? That's going to be the big question.
It's the first time a Bill Belichick team has been referred to as the cradle of love, but that's why you're the best, Joe. We absolutely love it. And answer us this. As we start the season today, give us a team that maybe is not being talked about as much. We know the big, powerful, glamorous teams like the Bucks and the Chiefs and the 1970 Fighting Irish. Give us someone under the radar maybe who should be talked about more.
I think one team that really is under the radar are the Denver Broncos. Defensively, I think they're going to be a whole lot better. Obviously, they're in a tough division. But Teddy Bridgewater brings a degree of stability to that offense that they haven't had. I mean, they've been a little bit like the Jets. Everything has been so uncertain over the while. Everybody's trying to find that next John Elway. Well, you're not going to find the next John Elway, but you're going to find a guy who learns how to win, who's learned how to win. He knows what he can do, and he understands what the people around him can do. He's athletic enough, come back from an unbelievable injury, done a terrific job leading this football team. And the one word you hear out of Denver constantly about Teddy is he's a terrific leader. It's all about the team. It's not about him. It's all about helping his teammates. It's not about him. And I think that's very important when it comes to the locker room, as well as transitioning out on the football field.
Yeah, Joe, Teddy Bridgewater, man, he is a great leader. I've been hearing a lot of great things about this guy. Now, you're here on behalf of the Washington football team and their partner, Medliminal, which works with companies to help control their medical bills and make things easier for employees. What more can you tell us about your partnership with this organization?
Well, I've been with Medliminal now for about 3 years. And what I've been so impressed with is, first of all, anybody that gets a medical bill, you have no idea what's on it. And if you're a company, it's an opportunity to be able to save money. And Medliminal, and this is their area of strength. So what we basically do is we examine medical bills. We have this technology that's called the HCAT technology. And our nurses and health experts take a look at the bills. They examine them. And it's really no fault. You have somebody, sort of a big brother, looking over your shoulder to try and make sure that you aren't paying more than you have to. And the website is Medliminal. It's Medliminal.com. You can look there for a lot more information about it. But it's an opportunity for companies to be able to really save money. And in this time and age we're at right now, I think it's very important that companies really dot their I's and cross their T's to make sure that they're not spending money or that the bills are not inaccurate more than anything else. And so that's what Medliminal does. We try and make sure that the bills are accurate, you're paying what you're supposed to pay, and if not, then you shouldn't have to do it.
Joe, we can't thank you enough for joining us this morning. And guess what, brother? Go out there and enjoy your birthday, all right?
Hey.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. And by the way, my son Joe has the same birthday today, as well as my partner Mike Patrick, who I've worked with many years. So it's quite a day.
Incredible.
Wow.
What a day.